Hello and welcome. My name is Nathan, and today in the studio we're going to have a look at my new EP from start to finish. So we're going to take track by track how I made it, how I mixed it, how I mastered it, and we're going to do each song. And we're going to have a good look in depth on what I did. A big shout out to Urs Wild for collabing with me on this first track. Urs does a lot of dark ambient stuff and a lot of other cool space tracks. This is his page, link is in description. Do go and follow him. This is his newest EP. Let's have a quick look. Link for this as well from Bandcamp will be in the description. I had the pleasure of getting to hear this, and it's a wonderful album he has here. It has wonderful music, and you should go and follow him definitely. Also a big shout out to DizzyEverydays. Dizzy created the spaceship that's in the EP cover. This one here. All of these he's created from scratch. He is a wonderful artist. You should definitely check him out. Follow his page. DizzyEverydays. Links are in the description. Also, you can go and follow me. This is my official page on Facebook, and I have a lot of goodies for you to see. I have a lot of tutorials. If we go to our videos page, I have a lot of FL Studios tutorials. There's over 100 to see. There's a lot of how-to videos, including artwork, mostly music. But so come over to me, and I can help you out with much more. I can give some FLPs and some samples and a lot more stuff. So give a like to my page as well. This is the first track of the EP, The Risk of Darkness. I'll have a quick look through here. So this one was more of a collab. One of my friends, Urs, he created these 3 layers, which was like atmospheric pads, drones, and other types of pads. He added onto my original track. So first, what I like to do is say, please go and subscribe if you have not done so already, and do press the bell notification. I do respond as soon as I can, possibly within the first 2 hours. So we're going to go and take a look through the channel rack, through each VST, and see what I've done on each one. So channel 1, we have a piano. I'm using this, like, there's only 1 or 2 pianos I actually use in my music. This is one of them. This is called the ambient piano from Expand, and without touching any of the settings, it is lovely. This goes into channel 11, so let's have a listen to it first. So as you can see here, this is the 4-bar melody, and probably the biggest thing I've recently done is to use the slice tool and do a cross like this. And what that does is give a little, each note comes in a little later, almost gives it a more realistic feel. So let's have a quick look at the mixer then. That's channel 11. The master gain on that channel is actually around 65%. It is a quite loud sample. Channel 11. Okay, so without any effects. And with. So you can hear there's a lot more sharpness and cleanness to it. So starting from the bottom again, I usually start from the bottom, work up. So on the bottom we have a limiter with extra gain. Gain is roughly 5 dB. The channel itself is minus 7.3 dB, which is minus 70. Now I could turn it up, but it gives me other artifacts and stuff. Reverb is a bit more much, so I use limiters and stuff like that to increase the gain, more subtle. Above that is I cut off, and that's what I usually do from above limiters. Limiters, cut off, then EQing, and then effects. So the cutoff here is, what's that, 60 hertz to 12.3 kilohertz, or 12, well, 12317, 12,317 kilohertz. We'll short that down to 12.3 K. So without that, it just cuts off a little bit of the highs and the rumbly lows. And then above that is the effect. It's JJP plugin from Waves. It's one of the best things I've paid for. Using a preset called Piano 2. This one here. It really, like, if I turn it off first and have a listen. Okay, now turn it on. There's more brightness, there's more color to it, and it's really nice. Okay, so moving on from this, another expand. It's in the same channel with the same stuff. That's pretty much almost all the pianos. We have a bass coming from, this is live bass that comes with FL Studios, channel 5. So from the bottom we have a compressor with a 2.7 gain, and also a 9.2 gain on the 78 hertz on this EQ, and then it's just a widener, stereoizer through free filter. I just thought it gives a bit more fatness. Volume wise, we're looking at about 30%, and in Emerge 100%, which is mono. Okay. And then from that, then channel 6, we have orchestral strings. This was just a sample. That was designed from another plugin. Channel 6. So number 6, we're going to turn stuff off. As you can hear, there is from being off to on. There's quite a big difference, so we're going to have a look at the mixing for that. I do have a limiter on this because it was much louder beforehand. EQing is very similar to the piano. We have a cut there of about 50 hertz, well 47 to be exact, and around 1000, the 1K mark. And then we have a brightness knob from the one knob series, again it's from Waves. This has automation on it, so it gives a more brightness feel. And then again JJP on low strings. So let's do yeah, I can turn low strings off first, and turn off the one string. So let's have a listen. And then with it on, huge brightness to it, a lot more color, more warmth, and a bit more clear. Cool. So channel 7, then we have another piano. Sorry, not piano, it's choir. I mislabeled that one. Choir. Now this originally came from Expand, and I needed more features and stuff, so I went into DirectWave, and I imported it straight from Expand VST. So I have a few other things going on in here. So the mixing for that would be An EQ. Let me see. I'll turn off the EQing stuff first. Low without and with. Gives a bit more brightness. There is a widener, but that comes on with automation. Coming next is channel 7. The AOA, which is quite nice. It is unusual to have a kind of a trap instrument or sample in an orchestral rock track. I didn't like when I do music. There's no really genres. It's just music beyond genres and just it's. I think it sounds nice. We'll try and keep that short. So without any effects and stuff, there's a high EQ there. But let me see. That's what 9.1. Okay, and let's turn that back up. 9.1, 154 hertz. There's a limiter. Let's turn that on. That also removes that fuzzy noise. Listen. It kind of sounds like it's clipping or some sort of static. That and using an EQ where a huge roll off going down below 5,000 kilohertz, and the cutoff there is 30. Volume wise, that's around my 80 mark, right? 78% minus 5.3 dB. So this sound is coming from June 2. This is called a blue pigment, and channel 1. Again, the volume here is about 60 as well. Most volumes on this side are turned down. Channel 1. Channel 1 has a compressor and a very simple EQ going on here. We have a cutoff down here at 178 hertz and a roll off to the end of, let's say, almost 20 kilohertz, and a slight increase. Even though it's been cut off, I did an increase here which did actually have an effect in the higher treble area of around 13k. So let's bypass this. So with the effects on, it kind of cuts down the sharpness of the sound. Next one is the original sound I started off with. This is called the Darkness Cud, and this is kind of where I get the name of the EP, The Darkness. This is a really spooky effect. I'd like to have a listen to it. Okay, so for this channel, I think it wasn't much. There was a limiter with some compression and a cutoff, which is roughly around the 7k mark, and that's about 60 hertz. And that was about it for that. Moving on from this, hi-hats and stuff. Just a bit of compression on it. There was some other artifacts I did here, and that was about it. The volume wise for that is around 50%. And there's two of them, so you have the top hat and then you have an open hi-hat, and they're both panned out separately through here. So moving on, channel 3 is it's a sound, what's the word called? Textures. It's another type of sound effect, and it's channel 3. Channel 3, limiter, EQing, cutoff, and a fast LP for automation, and a slight increase in the higher treble range around the 10.8k mark. Again, this is more for the atmospheric space type of sound. And then we have this, which is a music box. This is the DSK music box, which is freeware. And I've compared it to other music boxes, and I really like this one best. Channel 14, let's have a look. 14, we have a limiter, not that we really need it. EQing is just a cutoff. I cut the lows off down at 80 Hertz, and a fast LP for a automation, and a slight increase in higher treble, just for a little bit more clarity on the crank. And there is reverb here as well. My Send 1 has the standard reverb from the mixture presets. Okay, so that's all the patterns. Let's have a look at the project. So the project here, as you can see down the bottom, I have recorded some stuff as well. So I have a home recording studio, and I do a lot of guitar work. So I've recorded an upper lead and a lower lead. I also recorded there's upper lead or a lower lead, and then there was kind of a standard lead going through the whole thing. It's kind of hard to explain. I do it in 3 parts. If you listen to the first one, so that sounds like the 3rd or 4th string. Sounds like the 5th, which just gives more of the kind of vibe. And then so that's more of the lead. This is more of an atmospheric effect. And then this is like the lower lead. Yeah, it's just it's the aga note. If you're Indian, you would know an aga note would be the one note that you would use throughout the song. Also note the guitars are pitched to 444 kilohertz, so it's also called the King John or James. I think it's King John frequency for music healing frequency. It was a bit of an experiment, but a lot of people believe that you can get healed through music, through different frequency ranges and stuff like that. So I've been experimenting, and my guitar is in 444 hertz. So it's meant to have some sort of new age mumbo jumbo kind of stuff going on in there. There'll be a link down below where I've got this information, but anyway. So having an undertone in the song, like, it's good for meditation and stuff, and I just wanted to see what happens if I stick into a track. So yeah, there was that stuff. I can have a look at the EQing for that channel 19. It's not really mumbo jumbo. It's kind of healing through music. So not saying that my music will heal, but it might relax a lot of people. So let's do that without the effects. There's reverb. So there's reverb there, around 60%. A cutoff, roughly it's around 120 to 20. Automation from fast LP, and then EQing is from the HEQ stereo, using the Guitar 1 preset, and a little bit of EQing stuff down here as well. Then the second channel, channel 20, that single note, a cutoff, which is quite severe. Let's turn off the effects. You also probably notice that I record with effects on. I don't like adding effects later. I like to have the effects on and then get really into the vibe So when I record that, it's just a little easier. So there's an EQ for that there, fast LP. The only thing I use fast LPs for is cut off or fade ins and fade out automations, and stereo Eisner with a 3 for the wideness. And then the lead itself, it's very similar. Cut off, fast LP, and then EQ using Arc Guitar 2 preset. And then without that, without the effects. Okay, you get the idea of that. Cymbals and crashers and stuff is very simple. Need channels on. It's just a sample. Then we have, let's see, we have these here, which is vinyl sounds. Again, it's just to help with the atmosphere, and has quite a big fade out. We have the war drums then, fade in. Okay, you get the idea. And then, you know, like you see these automations, these go with this one here for the dark feeling. This is the pitch wheel, no, the mod wheel. So you can hear there's a bit of a stutter through it. About here. So these are vent clips. This like automation, it's just a little easier to do. Then let's have a look down at the other stuff. So this is kind of like white noise without the effects, which is not really much. It's just a slight increase and a huge amount of compression, and a huge dip in the lower region. So and then the other one, of course, the original sample he sent me was much more louder and brighter. It's just I needed to change it to suit the track. Then his drone effect, again, it's very similar. We have a compressor, we have a limiter, we have two different stereoizers with different effects. Again, I can turn it off there for you. And then on. And then the last one. I just increased the treble up to as far as to 10.4K and 6.4 dB, which works very nice. So now we're going to have a look at the finished track. so that is the track. Also just include, I'm going to add the mastering, which I've forgotten about. The mastering was very simple. I used clear master preset, right, to start off with. And then let's take the loudest point. So if we have a look here at the lows, I really didn't have to do much. Mostly was through low and high here, which is the 100 hertz and 3000 hertz. And then a little bit of separations and stuff going on through here. And that's pretty much all I did for mastering. I know there's probably more I could have done, but I'm still learning about the whole mastering thing, because I like to keep stuff simple as possible to get loudness, but not just throwing like over compressing and as other people seem to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it.